All right, let's dive in. This time, we're going deep on Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. The one aimed at Drake. It caused quite a stir.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's been talking about this one.
We've got the Wikipedia page all prepped with the background info and all that good stuff, including what went down in the music video.
Should be interesting.
Ready to figure out what made Not Like Us such a massive phenomenon.
Absolutely. The impact was undeniable.
Okay, so first things first. This track dropped right smack in the middle of this, well, kind of legendary feud.
Between Kendrick and Drake, yeah.
Been going on for what, like over 10 years now?
It's been brewing since, 2013, but things really blew up in 2024. Not like Us is a big part of that.
Yeah, it wasn't just another diss track, though, right? It was like Lamar's fifth shot at Drake.
Fifth one.
And get this, it came out like less than a day after his previous one, Meet the Grams. Crazy, right?
Talk about turning up the heat. That's a serious escalation.
Lamar definitely knows how to keep people on their toes.
No kidding. It's almost like he was trying to control the whole narrative, not letting Drake get a word in edgewise.
Total power move. And then remember what Top Dog was tweeting.
Oh, yeah. Top Dog, the head honcho over at Lamar's old label, he was dropping all these cryptic hints about seeing dead people and whatnot.
So much suspense.
It's like he knew something huge was coming.
And then boom, the cover art drops. It was Drake's mansion, that embassy place in Toronto, but with these red dots all over the roof.
Oh, wow, you're right. Like on one of those maps, for registered.
Exactly.
Whoa, bold move.
Super bold. What do you think Lamar was going for there?
I think it's open to interpretation for sure. But it makes you think about power and image, right? Like, is he hinting at something about Drake's behavior?
Maybe a comment on the image Drake puts out there versus what's really going on.
Could be. It's definitely a provocation.
Big time. And then the release strategy was all over the place, too.
Yeah, how it went from YouTube exclusive to streaming.
Yeah. And remember how Lamar lifted those copyright claims for a while?
Oh, yeah. Fans could use the track however they wanted. Why would he do that?
My guess is he knew it would go viral.
You're probably right. No barriers for sharing or anything. It's like he turned his fans into promoters.
So smart.
Yeah.
It definitely played a huge role in the song blowing up.
Absolutely. And the music itself, it's got this really cool blend of West Coast hip-hop.
And that hyphy energy.
Right. It's a really interesting mix.
Can you break down those styles for us a bit?
Sure. So West Coast hip-hop, think Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, laid-back grooves, lyrics that make you think. Hyphy, on the other hand, that's all Bay Area. Super high energy, fast tempos.
Like almost manic, right? Makes you want to dance.
Totally. Think E40 or Mac Dre.
So by mixing those two, Lamar created something totally fresh.
Definitely appealed to a wider audience, for sure.
And it played into that whole California versus Canada rivalry, too.
Well, for sure. Added another layer to the feud.
And on top of that, he samples this 1968 version of I Believe to My Soul.
Which itself was a cover of a Ray Charles song, layers upon layers.
Talk about musical history.
Like he's saying, I'm building on tradition, but also pushing boundaries.
Exactly. Oh, and you know what's wild? The producer, Mustard, said he'd been sending Lamar beats every single day for years, hoping they'd work together.
Wow, that's dedication.
And the beat for Not Like Us. He said he imagined what it'd be like if Dr. Dre produced for Lil Jon. Can you imagine that?
Whoa, that's a wild combo. Lil Jon's energy with Dr. Dre's sound.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But, it speaks to Mustard's talent, blending different styles like that.
And it obviously resonated with Lamar. I mean, look what came out of it.
Okay, I think we're ready for the lyrics now. Brace yourself.
Things are about to get intense.
Lamar does not hold back. He goes after Drake hard, makes some serious accusations, calls out his whole crew.
No punches pulled.
But before we get into all that, what do you think Lamar's goal was with these lyrics? Was it just to insult Drake, or was there something more to it?
Good question. I think it's more complex than just straight up insults. It's like he's trying to tell a story about authenticity. He's contrasting his own, deep roots in Black culture with what he sees as Drake's more superficial engagement.
So it's not just a personal beef, it's deeper than that.
Yeah, it's about something bigger. It's like Lamar uses all this imagery of Southern California, specifically like Compton.
He ground himself.
Yeah. Remember those lines about palm trees, freeways? He even name drops specific streets. It's like he's saying, this is me. This is where I come from. This is what made me.
Drake's the opposite.
Right. Like he's a cultural chameleon, just picking up and dropping trends whenever it suits him.
Not a good look.
Not at all. And I mean, Lamar doesn't hold back. He accuses Drake of some really heavy stuff, like having inappropriate relationships with underage girls.
Yeah, that's where the song gets really, really uncomfortable.
Definitely sparked a lot of debate. It's like Lamar's using these accusations to, question Drake's whole character, his integrity as a person, as an artist.
And he doesn't stop at Drake, right?
Nope. Calls out his whole crew. Chubbs, Party Next Door, Bacher. Not nice.
Nobody's safe.
Like, he's saying Drake's responsible for the people he surrounds himself with. Like, they enable this alleged behavior. Ties back into that authenticity thing.
You are who you hang out with.
Exactly. And then there's that line about Drake and Lil Wayne's girlfriend. Brutal.
Dredging up stuff from years ago. Why do you think he went there?
Strategy, I guess. Trying to make Drake look bad, like he's not the loyal guy he pretends to be. Expose that hypocrisy, make fans question him.
And what about that part where Lamar says Drake exploits the word slave?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It gets into this whole conversation about language and power, like, is it okay for Drake to use that word? A word with so much weight, so much history.
When he, hasn't personally experienced it.
Right. Lamar's basically saying Drake's using it for profit, for clout, without really understanding what it means.
Profound off someone else's pain.
Exactly. And he extends that critique to Drake's work with, like Future, Lil Baby, all those Atlanta artists. He says Drake's colonizing the Atlanta scene, using those artists for his own game.
So it's not just about Drake's actions, it's about the whole music industry.
Right. How artists from marginalized communities get exploited. Lamar saying Drake is part of that problem.
It all comes back to that idea of Drake being not like us. What do you think that means in this song?
It's loaded, right. Lamar is implying Drake's an outsider. Like, he takes from Black culture without really belonging, without respecting it.
Saying you're not one of us.
Exactly. It definitely kicked off a lot of arguments about who gets to define a culture, who can participate.
It makes you think, what does it even mean to be authentic? Especially when culture's always changing, remixing.
Big questions. No easy answer.
They've covered a lot. The context, the music, the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
But Not Like Us wasn't just audio, right? That music video was a whole experience. And it dropped on Independence Day, no less. What stood out to you? How did the video add to the song?
The video is amazing. It's a visual representation of everything we've been talking about. Authenticity, roots, it really brings those ideas to life. And it really drives home that contrast between Lamar and Drake. Right from the start, there's that disclaimer, warning people that no Ovihos were hurt making video.
So good. Like right off the bat, Lamar's setting the tone. This is my story. I'm in control, and we're going to have some fun with this.
Exactly. And then you've got all those cameos. J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, YG, Steve Lacy, even DeMar DeRozan shows up.
Like he's assembling this A-team. All these respected figures showing Lamar's own influence.
Right. And remember that scene with Tommy the Clown and the hip-hop clowns? That ties directly back to Lamar's roots in Compton, the importance of community.
It's like he's not just this rapper, he's part of something bigger, something with real history and culture.
And then you contrast that with the scene where Lamar smashes that owl piñata.
The OVO owl.
Yeah, such a symbolic attack on Drake.
Yeah.
But it's also playful, Reminds us that this is a rap battle.
He's like, I'm taking you down, but I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we see Lamar in all these different settings, too. Driving a Ferrari, hanging with his family, performing with those clowns.
Showing all the sides of himself, right. Like, he's complex. He's not just one thing.
He's not just this angry guy dissing Drake. He's a father, a husband, a son, a friend. He's got roots, but he's also ambitious, successful.
And dropping the video on Independence Day, come on, that's not an accident.
Totally intentional. He's claiming his space literally and figuratively.
Like, this is my country, this is my culture, I'm not letting anyone take that from me.
So powerful. There's so much packed into that video, but Not Like Us didn't just stay in the music world, did it?
No way. It blew up, went way beyond music.
Like, remember how Tam's Burgers, that place in Compton where Lamar eats in the video?
Yeah.
Their sales went through the roof.
The Kendrick Lamar effect shows how art can have a real impact on the world. Boost local businesses, change what people buy.
It's like a free ad campaign, but a million times cooler.
Right. And then there are all the other artists who were inspired by Not Like Us. Isaiah Rashad, Janet Jackson, even Megan Thee Stallion worked it into their own stuff.
Paying homage, adding their voices to the conversation.
Exactly. And there was that chiptune version, remember?
Which spawned a whole video game.
So cool. It's like the song broke free from its original form and inspired all this new creativity.
Oh, and remember how some people said Siri would play Not Like Us when they asked for Drake's Certified Lover Boy.
Haha, yeah. Like even Siri was in on the diss.
The song was everywhere.
Yeah.
Sports, too. NBA, NFL, USA Basketball played it at the Olympics.
It just fit, right. The themes of competition, rivalry, pushing limits, it's like an anthem for athletes.
And then the Argentina soccer team used it to mock Drake after he lost that World Cup bet. It was perfect.
Not Like Us became a way to talk about, like, calling out fakers, celebrating people who are true to themselves. It even reached politics. Politicians on both sides use the lyrics to talk about their opponents.
Wow. It's crazy how a song can become this lens for looking at all these big issues. Cultural appropriation, exploitation. It wasn't just entertainment. It was like a tool for understanding the world.
And it sparked some serious critical discussion, too. Like, some people said Lamar was being problematic, the way he talked about Black culture, policing who belongs, who doesn't.
That's a valid point. Makes you think about who gets to define a culture. Can anyone outside of it ever truly be a part of it?
Those are tough questions, no easy answers. But Not Like Us made us confront them head on.
Forced us to think about our own assumptions, our own biases.
That's part of what makes the song so important, so powerful. It pushed us to think harder, engage more deeply with the world around us.
So looking back, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from Not Like Us? What will people remember?
It's a song that captured a specific moment in history when people were really grappling with race, identity, authenticity in a world that's changing so fast.
It started so many conversations, challenged our ideas, made us think about how art shapes culture.
And I think those conversations will continue. What does it mean to be authentic? Who defines a culture? How can we create a world where everyone belongs?
Those are questions we should all be asking ourselves. As we move forward, I hope we can all keep that in mind. Engage thoughtfully with art, with culture.
Yeah. Keep your minds open, your ears tuned in. Always be ready to dive deeper.
This has been such a fascinating dive into Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving.
Bye.